Before the British flag ever flew over northern Nigeria, this region was home to one of Africa's most powerful and organized empires, the Sokoto Caliphate, a vast Islamic state built on scholarship, commerce, and governance. But by the late 19th century, a new global force was approaching: the British Empire. The jihad led by Usman Dan Fodio from 1804 to 1808 united dozens of Hausa states under a single Islamic leadership. Cities like Kano, Katsina, Zaria, Bachi, and Adamawa became centers of learning and prosperous trade. The caliphate had its own taxation systems, courts, and administrative structures long before European arrival. But global politics were shifting, and Africa was becoming the target of European expansion. By the mid-1800s, the British had begun creeping into the region, not through armies at first, but through trade. The Royal Niger Company, led by George Goldie, signed treaties, controlled river routes, and slowly tightened its grip. During the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, Europe divided Africa among colonial powers. Britain claimed the Niger territories, setting the stage for full military conquest. The conquest was swift and strategic. Nupe and Ilorin fell between 1897 and 1899. In 1900, Britain officially created the Protectorate of Northern Nigeria. Kano was captured in 1902, and in March 1903, British forces marched into Sokoto, overthrowing the Caliphate's military power. The man behind this campaign was Sir Frederick Lugard, the first High Commissioner of Northern Nigeria. But instead of destroying the existing system, he adapted it. The British realized the North had a strong political structure, so they introduced Indirect Rule, where emirs remained leaders. Sharia courts continued under British supervision. Taxes were collected through traditional rulers, and British residents watched from the background. This system made colonial administration cheap, effective, and stable for the British, but it also shaped Nigeria's future deeply. By 1914, Britain sought a single, manageable colony. The Northern Protectorate had little revenue, the South had more. So Lord Lugard merged the North and South into one entity, Nigeria. This decision created a single nation but also joined regions with different religions, histories, and administrative systems. Under British rule, Northern Nigeria experienced major changes. The expansion of railway lines, the growth of agriculture, especially groundnuts and cotton, the recruitment of Northern soldiers into the West African Frontier Force, and the slow spread of Western education due to restrictions and local preferences for Islamic schooling. The British maintained tight control, but the spirit of self-determination continued to grow. By the 1940s and 1950s, Nigerian leaders began demanding political power. From the north, leaders like Sir Ahmadu Bello and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa emerged as influential voices in the journey to independence. Finally, on October 1, 1960, colonial rule ended, and Nigeria became a sovereign nation. The story of colonial rule in northern Nigeria is a story of conquest, negotiation, adaptation, and resilience. It is a reminder that history shapes nations, and that nations continue to shape their own destiny.